We are back. Congressman Steve King is not just a congressman from Iowa. Among Iowa Republicans, he is a rock star in this state and a go-to guy. People want your advice. They want your opinion. Every single candidate who comes here wants your endorsement. Have you endorsed anyone in this race so far?
I've not done so. I'm holding back. I've said I'm going to get past Labor Day. We've got an event to do in South Carolina with Jim DeMint, but I want to weigh these candidates, and certainly this has impact today.
Let's talk about the importance of the straw poll. You've been in Iowa your life. You've seen all the straw polls. Why should someone living outside of Iowa care what happens here today?
Because the straw poll is linked to the First in the Nation caucus, and you know it better than anybody I know here, Mike. This is retail politics. This is the measure of a person's character, their authenticity, as well as the issues and the agenda and their stamina and all the things that embody a great president. And if we ever lose this First in the Nation caucus, then the person with the deepest of pockets would buy a media image, and we'd never be able to see every man or every woman elected president of the United States unless they had a lot of money.
Also joining me is Chip Saltzman, who was a person I got to know pretty well 4 years ago. He was the campaign manager of my campaign, so I know him, he knows me. But
we didn't win, Governor.
We did not. We did win the caucus.
Yes.
We did win the caucus.
But I want to talk about what Congressman just said about that this makes it so that it's not just about parachuting in, getting $35,000 worth of a plate of food and having a snap and moving on. Let's talk about how does a person win in Iowa? What are the mechanics?
It's real simple. Work hard, meet the voters, get them to vote for you. And this is what makes Iowa so special. Congressman King is exactly right. Any candidate can come into Iowa, work hard, do 10 events a day, drive 2 hours, meet with 10 people, drive an hour, meet with 10 people, go to Pizza Ranch for lunch because you know there's going to be a few people there, and work it one voter at a time. And this is where it happens in the presidential campaign. You can't do this 6 months from now, but today you can go out and win one voter at a time and make a difference. And this is in Iowa. It's the only place in the country where it truly happens like that.
And it really shows the not just organization, but the intensity of organization to the point that people are willing to come out and spend a day. You might, with a television ad, get someone fired up enough to go vote on voting day for a particular candidate. It requires an extraordinary level of intensity to get a person who is willing to give up an all Saturday on an August day to come and to be part of really what is a massive event. How much difference does that make in terms of gauging what I would call the intensity of voters here?
You know, as I walked around and here today, and I've got some previous straw polls I've got a feel for, I could feel that intensity, and I think you know what it feels like. That there was a tremendous amount of intensity in Michelle Bachmann's tent, for example. There was good intensity in Ron Paul's activity that was going on. And if you measure it, there's a couple things that Tim Pawlenty's campaign was well organized. They put a lot of groundwork into this. They worked almost 2 years to get to this point. And all day long I've been asking, does that organizational effort that he put in place, does that offset the energy that Michelle Bachmann brought to this campaign? And in her case, I think she had 48 days working here in Iowa, enough time to do all the things that Chip talked about. So we have a candidate with a tremendous force of her own candidacy, charisma, and personality. If you put the organization behind that, then you've really got, I think, a steamroller here in Iowa.
Yeah. Chip, looking onto the caucus, we were outspent literally a dime to a dollar.
That's correct.
Yet we won the caucus. Tell me how it's possible to win, even if you don't have the media behind you or the money behind you.
Well, what we proved 4 years ago is if you have a strong organization, you've got passionate people working for you, you've got strong leadership in like the campaign manager, you can overcome a very weak candidate and win the Iowa caucus like we did 4 years ago.
I think you're finished.
But what we did, though, is we had all those things come together at the same time. We had a candidate with a great message who was a great messenger. We had an organization that was behind him from day one. We knew what we had to do and we had to do it. And Michelle Bachmann showed a little bit of that today. Lots of enthusiasm for her personally. Yeah. Lots of enthusiasm for her message. A good ground game. Follow all those things together. And what happened? She put a W on the board today. She's now the only candidate that's run for president that's got to win. And so, you know, when Governor Perry comes in here tomorrow, he's got to put something on the scoreboard. Well, there's not a game for a couple more months. So he's got to dig in Iowa or South Carolina and do it. But Michelle Bachmann gets to go back tomorrow and say, I got a W.
Congressman, was it a mistake that Governor Perry decided to not show up here, but then to use this day for his announcement 1,200 miles away?
In my opinion, yes. It doesn't mean he can't come to Iowa and work and earn the support of Iowans, but to pick that timing right into the center of the ceremonies here in the straw poll, it's clear that it was intentional. It was an intentional effort to try to step on the straw poll. And as I said, the straw poll is linked to the caucus. If they're not tied together, we don't have an effective caucus. Anything that diminishes this diminishes that opportunity for the common person to win. So we'll see. It looks like he's coming to Iowa tomorrow, and what I'm told is it will be in Waterloo in the same building where Michelle Bachmann announced her candidacy not 48 days ago, and I understand she'll be there. We might have a shootout at the OK Corral in Waterloo, Iowa tomorrow, Mike.
It almost appears that he is going to try to bring the game to Iowa even a day late, but in essence recognizing that with today's win by Michelle Bachmann, he has to get past her to be the Tea Party candidate, to be the value voter candidate. But did he make a tactical error that will be hard to overcome by not being here today and then attempting to sort of take the shine off, if you will?
I would not have suggested he do that, but I think he's played it perfectly until today. I think he should have maybe announced next week. I've always been a person in politics is let everybody have their day. This was Michelle Bachmann's day. Give it to her. She's earned it. She's done it well. The people want her to have her day. And to come in and try to take the shine on a little bit is just, I think, a little bit too cute by half. I think Governor Perry, look, the game changes tomorrow. The preseason is over. This was the preseason game. Michelle Bachmann got the win. The season starts tomorrow again, and we reset the board and we start over. And I think Governor Perry is well into that game.
Congressman, last time Barack Obama carried the state of Iowa in the general election. What's your prediction? Is he going to win again, regardless who the Republican is? Has he got a shot at winning? I mean, this is a president that hasn't had a great record in Iowa.
Barack Obama has he started his movement in Iowa, and some Iowans take that as a responsibility now to end his movement in Iowa. And I think given the economy on where it's going, the way things have happened with national defense, you're seeing all over this country, Iowa is a reflection of a lot of their balance of the rest of the country. Oh, yes, he has a shot. We're going to have to earn it. We worked very hard for George Bush to win here in his re-elect. We'll have to work very hard to beat Barack Obama in this state. But having a great candidate at the top of the ticket, this is going to make a big difference. I think that we can win this in Iowa. And I understand the destiny of this country is at stake. If we're ever going to balance the budget, if we're ever going to repeal Obamacare, one thing to know is that if he's reelected, Obamacare is the law of the land in perpetuity. And if he's defeated, we will repeal Obamacare in the first month of the presidency of the next president.
I hope we will be able to do that. And Congressman, I thank you, Chip Salzman. Great to have both of you here. Thanks for your support of the fair tax as well.
Thanks, Governor.
Coming up, we'll be visiting with Rick Santorum, with Herman Cain, with Thad McCotter, all who are a part of this very amazing day on the campus of Iowa State University. We'll be right back.